You're tuned to KSJE, Farmington, New Mexico, 90.9 FM. And now 103.3 FM, K277CR, Durango, Colorado. KSJE is proud to support the San Juan Medical Foundation's 42nd Annual Walkathon, Saturday, September 17th. The Walkathon is the Foundation's premier annual event, the fundraising effort that supports the Connolly Hospitality House and the San Juan Medical Foundation's mission of enhancing the health and well-being of people in the Four Corners community. Register to walk, sponsor a walker, or make a donation at sanjuanmedicalfoundation.com.
Drive on 24th Street.
Welcome to the Cop Shop with FPD. I'm Chief Steve Hebbe, and we have kind of a full house with us today, including some oldies but goodies that we're bringing back. Georgette.
I'm not sure how to take that.
Really?
Oldie.
Well, I'm just saying you used to be on the show and now you're back.
I don't like that.
That's that's the downside to leaving the show. So now I control the show, and so I control the narrative.
I'm kind of liking these little figurines that Scott has over here. This one's wanting my autograph.
Yes.
He's either excited that I'm back.
He's trying to simulate that there's a big crowd that's truly interested in what we're saying, and we're hoping there's a couple of you out there that are. But we are back, and Georgette is filling in as we are still searching for a PIO. And Georgette, in her duties as the PIO for the entire city, is coming down here to kind of be my sidekick for this event. And she is bringing company with her, also from the city. And that is the very talkative, very boisterous Jessica Lazenby. Welcome, Jessica.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Now, tell us a little about yourself. Where were you born, Jessica?
Oh, man. I was born in Farmington.
too.
So Jessica is the volunteer coordinator for the city, and it actually has kind of an official title, which is?
Volunteer Partners Manager.
Volunteer Partners Manager.
Yes.
So very good. And how long have you been in that job?
A little over a year.
Okay.
Not that long.
And she's a rock star at it.
No.
And we love her.
She
does a good
is
job.
rock star like in it. I don't know if she likes rock or if she likes country.
I like all the things.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's a nice, safe, politically correct
I
answer.
like to be diplomatic. Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada. That's why you're the volunteer manager. So we figured we'd bring Jessica on a little bit to talk about volunteer opportunities across the city. PD has a volunteer program which has actually scaled back quite a bit since COVID really hit us.
I think it's because you scared him away.
Well,
That's what I heard.
yeah, go ahead, Scott, and we can blip off
We're going to
Georgette's
gang
mic.
up on you because you're
We don't
so
really need
ornery.
Georgette's mic this week, so. But in any event, whether Georgette speaks or not, Jessica, how many volunteers does the city have all told in all the different programs?
Right now, we have about 300.
300.
I wouldn't say they're all active at the same time, but we have about 300 in our system. So.
And what are some things that they do across the city?
So the program that has the most volunteers is the animal shelter. They have sort of a tiered program over there. When you start, you do a little bit of cleaning, and then eventually you get to start working with the animals and doing a little bit enrichment activities like walks and all of that. And then we also have the Bonnie Dallas Senior Center. They do their home delivered meal program, so delivering meals to seniors in our community. And some people do volunteer to do classes there, as well as the Sycamore Center, or just administrative duties at the Sycamore Center. And what else do we have? And then FPD, they do fingerprinting mostly and special events.
Very good.
Volunteers are so important, though, because the hours that I don't know if you have any of those figures kind of in your head, but the hours that they put in and how important they are to the organizations and the community. And
yeah, last year I think it was over 6,000 hours. And since I started, it's been kind of a strange year because of the pandemic, but they definitely helped the city a lot with that.
Yeah, you picked an interesting time to come in. You were a volunteer coordinator. There were no volunteers. You just sat in your office alone.
Just twiddled my thumbs.
People kind of threw stuff at you as we walked by.
Yeah,
So that was a great first year. We really enjoyed that. But you're getting out and about now.
Yes.
And
Now I'm everywhere.
now you are everywhere. One of the things a year or so ago, they were looking for volunteers to drive animals to Denver and other animal shelters when we were too full. Are they still doing that too?
Yeah, we have people that do that mostly. I haven't heard of a strong need for it right now, but when our shelter does get full, we try to place the animals at other shelters, and that's what they do.
Yeah, I think during COVID they were backed up. They were looking for volunteers
They
hard
are
for
always
that.
backed
Yeah.
up.
So
Yeah.
So many
Shelter
different
fills up
ways
fast.
to contribute to the community. I like the animal shelter ideas. I like the Meals on Wheels program. It's called. Yeah. And do you do any instructing down there at the senior center?
No.
Classes?
I'm not qualified.
Oh, I don't know. It's a rigorous qualification,
Yes.
but yeah.
No, we have like dance instructors or ceramics. They have like crafty ladies. They have some really cool stuff. Yeah.
Crafty ladies like
But they
They're
do crafts.
borderline criminals, and they're trying to show you how to.
I can't talk about
Get
that
around the police?
on air. So
That's interesting that we're teaching older people how to do that. But
sworn to secrecy about that.
that's one of the secrets. Yeah, there's all sorts of things I didn't know was going on in the city.
Ornery today.
I'm just
So
commenting. I'm
ornery.
trying to give her a platform.
She's never going to come back in here again with you.
That's what we have handcuffs for. Just drag her back in. We're the police.
Oh, my
it's
goodness.
the cop shop.
So let's plug. I know you are trying to recruit volunteers for a couple of events we've got coming up. And so one is actually a city event, the Balloon Rally. And then we have another one that's a community event, but we're partnering in, which is the Cleanup Day. So I'll let you take off with whichever one of those. you wanna
I
talk
can
about
throw in a
first.
couple more if you'd like.
Sure,
We
yeah,
also have
yeah, absolutely.
the Total Festival. We partner with their committee is going to be Labor Day weekend. So September 3rd, we'll need some help with that. I have most of those positions filled, but we need help with the rug auction. So if you don't volunteer, be sure to go to it and check it out. It's really awesome to see all the artwork if
Yeah,
you've
it's a
never
big
been.
event. Yeah.
And then we have World Cleanup Day, or whatever they're calling
Yeah,
it.
a National Day of
of
Service.
Service.
It's the same
Yes.
around 9/11. So
Yeah, so September 10th, they're going to have cleanups in specific sites around the city, and one will be at Lake Farmington, and that's where we'll need most of our volunteers. So if you're free that morning from 9 to 12, be on the lookout for a sign-up sheet for that.
Yeah.
And
if they miss the sign up though, is it
just show up.
Just show up.
Yes,
It's cool they
please.
come out.
And
Yeah.
just clean up some
Come
trash.
out.
We'll have trash bags and a dumpster, and bring your work gloves so you don't get anything on your hands. Yes, and there's the sheet.
Oh,
There's
perfect.
the sheet.
Thanks.
Perfect.
Thanks, Scott.
And-
Yeah.
And we'll have a map somewhere of the other
We will
sites.
have a map. So this one up here that Scott has up on the screen. So this is the one some community members came together and organized this one. So their focus is on downtown and the Animas Trail. City is partnering. We're providing the dumpsters and stuff, and then we're going to have like volunteers out there just to like show people kind of where to go and stuff. And then the Lake Farmington piece is our piece. So it's falls under the Farmington Clean and Beautiful.
Yeah.
Deborah Homer spearheads that every year. So and we'll need volunteers for that as well. So yeah.
Yeah, and that will get the lake all beautiful for the balloon rally there a couple weeks later.
Yep.
So
Balloon rally.
And on September 11th, I think Scott had it on his chart. They had the stair climb.
on the 10th too. So
on
that'll
the
be
10th, too.
at the same
It's
time
the Saturday. Yeah.
as our
Okay.
cleanup.
Yeah.
Very
yeah.
good. And that's a huge event for fire.
It is.
Did a lot of good fundraising. I think it was their biggest one last year.
Yeah,
when
it
they held
was.
it. And so I think they're aiming to even do bigger and better, so people
Yeah.
can come out and
Do both.
walk the stairs at Ricketts Park.
Yeah, get out there
Absolutely.
early,
Yeah.
walk the stairs, and go clean up some trash. You'll be like burning all the calories. It'll be great.
That's so you could eat and then burn all the calories.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do that first.
So that you sign up on Fire's website, or do you, if you wanted to walk?
I actually am not manning that. So they have, and sorry, off the top of my head, I don't know what that is. But I can send that to Scott later to
It's the Four
add to the thread
Corners
here.
9/11 Memorial Stair Climb. That you can find them on Facebook. how
Okay.
to
There you go.
Register.
Very good. I do walk
I'll
on
be
that
there.
every year.
I'm gonna make proof of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's cooler. Last year was hot, and I started a little
warm.
later. And oh my golly, that was a rough one.
It was.
But So that's a big event. And then when is the balloon rally?
The balloon rally is September 23rd through 25th, and there will be morning ascensions on
All
each
3 days. Yep.
of those days from 7 to 9.
It's I think it's 6 in the morning. Yeah, and it's going to be out at Lake Farmington for the Ascensions, and it's kind of like there's a lot of stuff going on. So besides that, they're going to have 2 different balloon glows. So San Juan College is hosting one of them on the 23rd, and then we're going to have another one at Ricketts Park at Justice Park next door. And then the college is also having a concert, and I'm not sure who's playing at you guys' concert, but we've got one, the Guess Who is going to be at Ricketts on the 24th. So the balloon ascensions and the glow are free, and then the concerts, there's a ticket fee for that. And the tickets are on sale now. So if you go to the fmtn.org/shows, you can buy tickets for the Guess Who. So do you guys know who the Guess Who is?
Yeah.
They're the original singers of American Woman.
Yep.
Yes. No, Chief doesn't know.
I actually thought you were doing an Abbott and Costello.
He's looking
Guess who's on
at
first?
me. No.
No, one's on second.
He's looking at me. So anyway, sorry, we need volunteers for this as well. So
Yes.
I'm going to let you take that piece over.
Mostly we will need volunteers to help on the balloon cruise. We're going to need 22 people every day, and the balloon crews prefer that the people remain consistent through the weekend if they can. I mean, we can't always do all 3 days, but that way the training piece doesn't have to be done every day.
Sure.
Yeah, and then at night we don't need as many people, but for the ascensions we need help with the chase crews, so people who know the BLM would be cool. So
Yeah, that'll be
pretty
exciting.
So do they blow up the balloons? What does
They-
the volunteer do? Because you're going to need more than 22 for that.
yeah, they will probably be holding the ropes for the balloons while they heal. What do they use? Propane.
Yeah, I don't know. You're looking at me. I don't know anything about the balloons.
Well, somebody else pulls them up.
Yeah, I think it is
Call
propane.
Krista for
So
questions.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
kind of helping anchor the balloons.
Yeah.
But there's no chance that you'll sail away into the sky still clinging to the rope.
I can't say that for sure. I have liability waivers.
So come on out and take your chances. Is basically
it'll
what
be
the city of
fun.
Farmington said.
We have a lot
It
of
should be fun.
safety
Yeah.
precautions
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
in line. So
Yeah.
FPD will be there.
We will be there.
Will you be
Chief,
there?
are you gonna
Sure.
fly?
The fire department.
Well,
The fire department will be there.
No.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
fire
They're
department.
gonna be
So we
there.
can all
Stand
feel
off to the
safe. The
side.
fire
You're
department
gonna
will be there.
Sure.
Every morning he'll be there.
I'll be there.
Yes.
I'm working so I can get ready to blow up balloons.
Thank you.
But
But-
did you actually know? So we used to hold this.
We used to hold
years
this here.
and years ago. I don't. You said you're from here too. I don't know if you remember. I'm a little.
I moved
older
away
than
for
you.
a long
I'm,
time.
I'm a little older than you, but I
I'm
remember
back.
going to them as a kid, and they stopped. I'm not sure why. And so everybody got together and said, "Hey, let's bring it back this year." So it's kind of exciting. Yeah.
And did we say it was at the lake? I don't know. if we
Yes,
did say
the
that.
Ascensions are at Lake Farmington.
Yes.
So.
So
With
there's
the
that.
nighttime things that
The ones at the college, yeah. So the Balloon Glow, there's one at the college on September 23rd, and then there's one at Ricketts Park next door. I think it's Justice Park is what it's called. September 24th. Thank you. So yeah.
Scott, do you remember the balloon rallies?
I do remember the balloon rally.
Really?
He probably covered them.
That was my first balloon ride. Was at the balloon rally. It was part of Riverfest. I think it was Memorial Day weekend.
What? Maybe I don't remember when. I just remember my mother dragging me. So I've never been a morning person, even as a child, and I remember her dragging me up there with the hot chocolate and the early morning. But it was fun and it was cool getting to watch. And
I had a
Yeah.
super heavy television camera on my shoulder for my first balloon ride in the basket, and so yeah,
Oh,
Cool.
that's scary.
Now you're just using your phone.
yeah, pretty much. That's true. There's a website too, right, for the balloon
yes,
rally, right?
it's fourcornersballoonrally.com. So you can get on there. The schedule is on there. I think we've got the volunteer sign up on there too. And she's also looking for non-food vendors. I don't have that form on there, but Krista Chapman with the city is the organizer of this. And so if you contact her and you want to be a vendor we need it for the Balloon Glow at Ricketts Park. So.
And since she's talking about that, then I'll bring up the Road Apple Rally. They need vendors and sponsors for that and a few volunteers. So, yeah, we need your help,
Oh
Farmington.
yeah, there's always
And that's
some place
early.
to serve.
That's early October, right?
That's,
The
yeah,
Road
October
Apple Rally.
1st.
October 1st. There's a
October
lot
1st.
going on here.
There is.
October 1st. We've got the downtown. We've got the Apple and Chili Fest. Last year it was just the Apple Fest, and now it's combining with the Chambers Chili in October. So it's going to be pretty cool. And that's going to be a 3-day event. I want to say it's the 29th, 30th, and the 1st, yeah. So with
I think I was judging last year's Chili Fest with the mayor.
What? You
I think I
picked
did.
Chili? I am shocked.
I'm not the biggest chili guy, but I was asked to do it, and I did. Just like tomorrow, I guess I'm supposed to be at the growers market tasting tomatoes.
And aren't they dunking you? Isn't there a dunk tank or
And
something?
there's a
Or
dunk.
are they
Always a
throwing
dunk.
tomatoes at you?
No, I'm not sure. They might combine both. Use the tomatoes to
I'll
get
be
me
there
in the
taking
dunk tank.
pictures.
Yeah, so that.
If something great happens, I'm going to capture it.
Yeah, so come on out to the growers market tomorrow, and maybe you can taste the tomatoes for me. I'm kind of a ketchup guy, but not really a tomato guy, so it'll be a kind of learning on the go.
He has the palate of a child folk.
Yes.
Very
And that's why we don't invite Georgette on very often.
Too much
And
honesty.
we just kind of move on past Georgette. So, tell us a little about yourself.
About me?
Yes.
What would you like to know?
Well, I don't know. You used to work here in the city before you started with the city.
Yeah, I worked at Presbyterian Medical Services before when we met in Leadership San Juan, and I was administrator for PMS Roundtree Children's Developmental Services. For 12 years I worked there. And
Very
now
good.
I just came to the city February of last year, and it's awesome. So, yeah,
You're enjoying it so far?
I am.
Different than PMS?
Yeah, I mean, they're very different. They're both nonprofits, but that was a fee-for-service sort of job, and I was a supervisor over all the people that were in the field. And then over here, it's a lot different with volunteers. It's just a whole new world. So.
And that's where I met Jessica, was at Leadership San Juan, which is another good program here in Farmington, throughout San Juan County. They take volunteers. I think they are just going to put on another class starting next month.
Probably,
I think they
yeah.
recruit in like May or
Yeah,
something
I
when you
think
put
so.
your application.
I did that too. I was the pandemic class.
Oh,
That's-
really?
That's right.
It hit. Do you remember this, Scott? We were having media day. We're sitting there doing, all the PIO media stuff or whatever, and it hits. And so Devin and I, the PIO with the county, are sitting there like we're stressing out, trying to listen and take care of the things. So.
Oh my gosh.
Well, and then they didn't even finish your class.
No, not in person, of course,
Yeah.
because everything shut down. So
Do you have to go back for the last classes, or
They
graduate?
did like a hybrid, if I remember. I don't know. That's all a blur. Like everything's a blur from that time. Like 2020, 2021, it's all a blur. But yeah, I think at the end they offered like a hybrid kind of thing. So people who wanted to come in, and then if you wanted to do it on Zoom. So yeah.
Well, so that's where Jessica and I met. We were 2019, so we got in just before
Yeah.
really
that's right,
the pandemic hit. I think you were the next class, and
Yeah.
and you got blanked out. Scott has been a big part of Leadership San Juan
Oh yeah.
for
Media
years.
day.
Media Day,
Yep.
and you went through, but when?
Class of 2008.
Class of 2008.
Yeah.
Many years ago. So they've been doing those classes. I sit on the alumni board, and they're like 91, 92.
Oh, wow.
You
Okay.
know, they've been doing them for 30 years here in San Juan County. So it's actually a good program. And Nicole was part of our class.
Yeah, she was.
And so we all kind of met there, and then we figured, hey, let's all go work for the city
Yeah, that's
together.
what we conspired. Yeah.
Just seemed the natural evolution. So you a big football fan?
Yes. Well. Yeah.
Really?
She's just telling you what you want to hear.
I don't
no,
want to talk
she actually
about
is.
the past, Steve.
Really?
No.
Okay. Well,
Maybe you wanting to brag about like how you did last season, and I don't want to talk about it.
really? How are you going to do this season?
Well, we have a new quarterback, so
You
we'll
do?
Who's
see.
your team?
The Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So how did that come about? You know we're in New Mexico,
Oh,
not Georgia.
my dad's from Atlanta.
Your dad's from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay. So you grew up a Falcons girl,
Yes.
and you've endured some tougher years. Is this going to be a better year?
Uh huh. I mean, have you seen the preseason so far? How
I have
are
not.
you? How are you doing?
We are 1-2.
Yeah.
But we rest all our starters because we actually make the playoffs, and so we don't want to
I know
exhaust them too
preseason
early.
doesn't count, but we're 2-2. I just want to
You're
say.
2-2. You are 2-2.
2-0.
There's only been
2-0.
2-0.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
How many games?
2-0. All right.
Yes. But you played the 49ers a couple weeks ago.
We did, and,
Yeah.
and not great. And then we played last
I
night.
had to bring it up.
So the Mighty Pack was on last night, and we lost 17-10. But, you know, when you win as much as we do, you got to let somebody win in preseason. So, and your quarterback was Matt Ryan for many years, and he jumped off to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Which was an interesting move.
We haven't had a very good time with him this last, since the 2017 Super Bowl that we don't talk about. And
Now, how did that go?
I don't remember.
I mean, games are 4 quarters, aren't they?
It's
Oh my
Felt like that was maybe a
for the
3-quarter
Falcons,
game.
it's only the first 2, and that's all
first
that
2.
matters is how you do in the first 2.
So our deputy chief, Kyle Dowdy, is, well, he's kind of a hybrid. He is an Arizona Cardinals fan, but he's also an Atlanta Falcons fan.
Like
he
Fairweather.
Well, no, he was actually earnestly depressed over the Super Bowl. So
That was really upsetting.
yeah, it was.
It was.
Well, for some of us, it was upsetting. For others, it wasn't.
For others, we're laughing.
So Scott's over there saying we have 3 minutes. Do you want to plug your women's conference?
We can plug the. Well,
wanna
we can
chat about
mention the
that?
women's conference. We are having
talk
our
about the
women's
conference.
conference here in mid-September. So that's
September
coming up pretty
13th
quick.
through the 16th.
It's Southwest Women in Law Enforcement.
Yep.
So it is for sworn and non-sworn women in policing throughout New Mexico. And even this year we're expanding into Southern Colorado departments are sending folks. So Georgette's been on that committee for actually several years that we've run it.
Yep.
This is our 4th year running it.
Yeah. Is it 4 years or the one? Well, it started in 2016. Oh, but we took a break there
Took a
too.
break,
Yeah.
yeah.
So so there's a lot of value with this, and it's not just. I mean, we put it on for women because sometimes they experience unique situations. Not that men don't too, but working in law enforcement for different reasons and stuff. So that's what this is for. But it's also we welcome men to attend as well.
Yes.
So if you jump online, it's swwle.org. You can get the schedule there, get your tickets. Again, the conference is 13th through the 16th. And it includes, it's not just the conference, so lunch is included. There's a 5K fun run or walk, outdoor social afterwards, and then there's 2 evening networking as well, social opportunities. So it is a great chance, to get together, to network, to hear stories of other, women in leadership roles in law enforcement and stuff. So it's been a great conference. It continues to grow.
And that
every
is
year,
something
so.
that we've been pushing really for years here at Farmington PD, is to try and hire more women. We do struggle to recruit, period. The last couple of years have been rough for police recruiting, and we need to do a better job throughout the profession, throughout the country, in recruiting women into the field. They can do the job, and we need them in the business. So if you're a female out there that has ever thought about law enforcement, Jessica, have you ever thought about law enforcement?
Sure.
Very good. Well, be like Jessica, think about it, and then take the extra step and apply online with FPD. Georgette, it's been many years. Remember when we first started and it was an hour-long show?
I do, and it was so stressful for me because this is not my wheelhouse. It's not my strong point here. So I always appreciated you carrying the show with your
We made it.
talk about football, which I can't chime in on. I don't do the football.
You got to talk about football a little bit. Scott's Bills are still out there too. Scott can talk with you
About Saturday times.
about Saturday times,
Okay.
and then coming back
We'll
and win.
commiserate later.
So in a couple of weeks we will. I don't know if we'll have a PIO. It might just be me here again. We might bring Jessica back to talk
Sure.
more in depth about how Matt Ryan's doing in Indianapolis. We might bring Georgette back, just for kicks. But whatever we do, join.
Proud to support the Summer Terrace Concert Series, Saturdays at the Farmington Museum. Saturday, August 20th, rock, blues, and country with Black Velvet. Saturday, August 27th, Jazz with Didat. The Summer Terrace Concert Series at the Farmington Museum, 3041 East Main Street, Saturdays this summer from 6 to 7:30 p.m.
For liftoff, yeah, we really used to say A-OK. Bruce Betts has come up with a humdinger of a space trivia question based on the SLS. You'll get your shot at it in this week's What's Up. While I'm away, you'll get to hear the celebration of the Voyager mission's 45th anniversary. I'll be at JPL when Deputy Project Scientist Linda Spilker and others mark this occasion. You'll hear my coverage in our August 31st show that will also feature another conversation with the great Ann Druyan. Ann and I will talk about the Voyager interstellar mission and those golden records she helped create. Turning to the Downlink, the Planetary Society's free weekly newsletter, means we're also turning back to last week's visit with Jane Greaves and our conversation about phosphine and the possibility of life in the atmosphere of Venus. Thanks so much to all of you who took up the challenge Jane and I gave you. We've received a bunch of very entertaining and even beautiful artist concepts of those penguins who fly high above Venus. Need I remind you that there is no actual evidence for penguins or any other living organisms there? But reviewing your fanciful artwork has been great fun. We'll have more to say about it next week, and we'll share some of those images. There's much more at planetary.org/downlink, including the latest news about Virgin Galactic. Richard Cook has been in the Mars exploration business for more than 3 decades. He worked on the Pathfinder mission that brought the tiny Sojourner rover to the Red Planet just over 25 years ago. He became project manager for the Mars exploration rover Spirit and Opportunity and did the same for the much more ambitious Curiosity Mars Science Laboratory that is still rolling and doing science. He joined us on stage back in 2012 for a Planetary Radio Live discussion about that mission. You can hear it on this week's show page at planetary.org/radio. Richard left his job as JPL's Associate Director for Flight Projects and Mission Success in 2021 to take on Mars Sample Return. As you'll learn in our new conversation, it has been an exciting homecoming. Richard, it's been a long time. Welcome back to Planetary Radio.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Do we now have a pretty good idea of how those priceless, pristine bits of Mars that Perseverance is collecting are going to make their way back, are going to make their way here to Earth to all those eager scientists who just can't wait to get them in their labs?
We do. We're in the part of the phase of the project where we're still formulating our plans, and so everything hasn't been approved, but I think we have a good technical concept for how we want to do it now, and I think we're ready to move on into making that happen.
This is still such an exciting step to actually have seen that press release and seen the artist renderings of the spacecraft that are going to be doing this work for us. I mean, it seems like maybe Perseverance was the first real feeling we got, like this long-held dream, sample return. It's actually started, and now this just seems like the next step along the way.
Absolutely, and it's funny because I've been here 30 years and worked on several Mars sample return concepts or ideas, and they just never got past a certain point. And I think we really are sort of now at the point where we're going into terra incognito, for example, on sample return, right, where we really haven't made it this far. And of course, we have on other programs, and so we certainly know what that feels like. But it's really refreshing and a great feeling to get the sense that, yeah, the momentum is building, and we really have a concept that can be executed. And now we just need to start going down that path.
So what would that be on Mars? Ares incognito?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, good point.
Yeah. So there are some big changes here from what we originally thought would happen. Maybe the biggest one, correct me if I'm wrong, is that rover that we were hoping to have provided by the European Space Agency for a number of reasons is now no longer part of this plan. Do I have that right?
That's right. I think it's a little bit of a confluence of several different events that made that possible. first and foremost, of course, is that Perseverance is doing so well on Mars, right? That it really has kind of exceeded, I mean, knock on wood, exceeded everybody's expectation that in terms of how well it's worked. The samples it's gotten have been very compelling so far. The vehicle itself is working great. The team is doing a tremendous job. And so it really gives you confidence and gives us confidence that we can count on it to be the principal path, right? We always knew it would be there. We likely would be there, but we really have our confidence has only gone up over time that it would be able to be the primary delivery path. So that's one item. The second one, of course, then is, we start talking about, well, do we need a backup? And clearly for a long time, the Fetch rover and Perseverance were sort of both able to do the job. But having that the second rover, the Fetch rover, does make the program more complicated, right? It adds another, it's a very capable vehicle, but it takes up space and it, requires resources on both sides of the Atlantic to make it happen. And I think given our confidence in Perseverance, we said, well, maybe we should look at other options for that. And that's what we've been kind of doing for the last year is, are there other ways to both get the Fetch rover there, but also, fulfill its function, which is to sort of serve as a second path. And in the end, success of Ingenuity on Mars has really opened up the possibility that a helicopter, an aerial-based system, could achieve that same retrieval recovery function with a much smaller footprint, much more straightforward way of, it's still challenging to accommodate a 1 meter blade, right? But in general, the mass of those helicopters is very low, and so they are much easier to bring along than a Fetch rover would be.
So no Fetch rover, still, of course, a lander, a NASA-provided lander, which we can talk about more in a moment. So instead of the Fetch rover rolling over to where Perseverance happens to be, or maybe the two meeting in the middle, now Perseverance, you might hope, will roll over to this lander. Or if for some reason Perseverance can't, you'll have not one, but a couple of helicopters to help transfer those samples?
That's right. Yeah, the prime path is exactly what you said. Perseverance will drive literally right up to the lander, and the lander, of course, has an arm on it, and the arm will reach out and one at a time pluck the samples that Perseverance is carrying on it and take it off, each sample tube off one at a time and put it into what we call the orbiting sample canister, right? The OS. It's the thing at the front of the MAV that is, our carrier, our test tube rack, so to speak, of where we put the tubes. And so, yeah, that's the basic idea is Perseverance is right close to